We are streaming again. Um, so, um, yeah, I think that's kind of, like I said, the infrastructure thing is going to be a big problem if you don't have, you want all this modern technology because we say we're so great. Well, that's great, but who's paying for it? Who's paying for it?
Well, it's going to be us, I suppose, at the end of the day.
Yeah. I mean,
Somehow.
I really
Yeah.
wish I could say to somebody is, hey, we're going to generate new power. We're going to have all this new technology and all this stuff. That's fantastic. But if you guys aren't building more power plants, how are you going to be able to afford to do this?
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying?
Actually, Michelle, 2 seconds. I think your stream has stopped, to be honest.
What's that?
I think your stream has stopped, to be honest.
Yeah, my stop. Oh, no, I don't think so. But it was kind of weird
I'm not sure. I'll
that
double
it
check.
ended where it did. But you know what? Right now, unfortunately, I didn't start tunnel. Well, now we're on Tunnel Bear. Okay, so at least we know Tunnel Bear is up. Yeah, but if the stream ended because of somebody from the powers that be that didn't want it to be talked about, you would see the message says the stream has been terminated by YouTube or something.
Right,
It
right.
didn't say
Yeah,
that.
of course. Yeah, I've just restarted it.
But you're right. It is
yeah,
kind of weird that the whole network would go down at that one point when we're covering the reality is that the infrastructure just isn't there to keep all this high green energy initiatives alive. Another thing too, like I said, is they are improving technology, but it's still really kind of expensive, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, your stream's back
Solar
now.
cells,
Sorry.
for example, have come down in price a lot, but the problem is that there's also an e-waste with them. I didn't even realize this, but the truth is, the solar panels do have e-waste. They're not. They're not the efficiency things that everybody dreams about. They
Gianni was asking what happened. I just said it was an EMP attack, so hearing us talking about stuff like that, so maybe they decided to do something. So
I wish I knew exactly what happened too, but I didn't. So it's just kind of funny.
no idea, Gianni.
So yeah. So anyway, the point is that see, we're back. EMP attack? No, I don't think so. I think.
No.
I mean, the internet. If it was a real EMP attack, trust me, we wouldn't have any electricity either. But we have electricity. It could be just something going on with the with internet infrastructure too.
Yeah.
I live in a neighborhood that has old cable wires on the poles that originally were made with paper insulators. So they probably maybe some of the moisture got in, or maybe someone in the phone man at the maybe accidentally bumped into a wire rack, or it seemed like it was pretty much a clear cut, no signal. Even Tunnel Bear wasn't even running, so and Tunnel Bear is almost always running. So I think that's important to keep in mind. So I think that was a physical infrastructure issue.
So if a massive bird or something flies into the wire, it could be cutting off your internet or something.
It could have been birds flying the wire. It could have been a car accident. It could have been like somebody working on the road system, whatever. It accidentally cuts into the cable that goes from the central office to the internet. Who knows? It could be anything. But given the fact it came back, something tells me that it was something that wasn't too terminal because they were able to get the internet back up.
Johnny's got a fantastic point there. The green idea is a good idea, right? Now I'm saying that from my perspective also, but there's a lot of people that are coming into the population, into the industrial age, should I say, that are going to be just starting buying cars and
Yeah,
stuff like
that's
that.
another
And
issue there. And Craig brings up a valid point. What happens with all those batteries when the batteries finally die? What's happening to all the cell phone batteries when they die? What's happening to all the computer batteries when they die? You would be dismayed to know that there is not a standard way to recycle them. For one reason, is there's different chemistries and there's different assemblies of how they're assembled, and it gets complicated to take them apart, even if you know and you have the professional people to do it safely.
so, what could you do with those batteries then, in terms of recycling? What could you do with them? What could you use them for a second time?
Well, that's just
Or
it. Unlike a lead acid battery, where at least the materials can be broken down to the basic components of the plates, the plastic casing, the posts, the material lead can be melted down. You can't melt down a lithium ion battery. Not really. It's
okay.
like they're not designed to be recycled. That's the first mistake. They're not designing these batteries for recyclability. So everybody says, oh, lithium ion battery is great, energy density, that's wonderful, but if you have no way of recycling them, what did you even get into this for? I mean, we need to keep that in mind. Not only for
They
the
might
life of the
find out
product, but the end
something.
of
They
life
might.
issues of the
Sorry.
product.
They might find out some way of using them in a good way.
So.
I mean,
They
would
might
hope
be
so
able to
anyway,
save some
if
of the
that's the case.
materials, but what about the plastic, the mylar, the materials that make the insulators, all this stuff? I don't know how they're recycling them. But the solar panels, they're saying the same thing with solar panels. Solar panels are saying is, especially the ones that are encapsulated. How are you gonna dispose of those? What kind of recycling programs
No
do you
idea.
have for solar panels?
Long as it. Now,
So
Tiger
again,
was saying, sorry, Tiger was saying that she had a game of shuffleboard on the cruise, and I don't know what shuffleboard is, so someone needs to enlighten me on this.
oh yeah, absolutely, I agree with you, Craig. I agree with you, 100%. About you can't burn the material because it's extremely toxic, especially the electrolyte. You can't. You're just dumping all the crap into the air. The whole idea of what you're trying to say
Sorry.
with the green measure is to cut back on carbon dioxide emissions and pollutants. And if you try to burn an old battery to melt down the materials, yeah, you're going to basically put all the carbon dioxide, monoxide, sulfur dioxide, other chemicals into the air, thus negating the whole potential purpose of having lithium ion in the first place. This is something that has got to be thought about from a developer's point of view. Is if we're gonna fix this problem, we got to make sure.
Oh, I see. Okay, I see. No, I'm just more interested in shuffleboard. I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm half asleep. I'm tired.
Yeah.
Tiger was talking about a game called Shuffleboard, and it sounded really quite interesting when the way she put it.
Monocrystalline solar panels are very dangerous when recycled. How so? I mean, I know polycrystalline panels are sharp and edges on them, and they can cut you pretty bad when you try to separate all the material apart from on a solar panel.
This is so nice.
Again, this
I'm
is
sorry,
and then again,
Coca-Cola
what about all the solder that's used to connect all the solar cells? How much is that lead solder? How much is in that? All this material. It really needs to be looked at.
Maybe just like drag them into a massive bag and shoot them into space or something.
That wouldn't do no good. Eventually, we'll run out of materials to make them. So
Yeah. As I said, I'm no use at things when it comes to stuff like that. But that's my idea to everything. Anything that's not usable, just or recyclable, just get a massive space rocket and just shove it all in and just blast them into orbit.
it's just interesting to think about what we're talking about. Is that this is things a lot of the Green New Deal tree huggers are not even thinking about, and they're like, we're thinking about this stuff that they didn't even think about. The only thing that the tree huggers would be talking about this from from the beginning is, what about the waste products? They're not thinking about that. They're just saying is go green.
Yeah, go green,
Except,
go green.
what
Yeah,
about
that's
the
all you ever
waste
hear.
products? What about the end of life issues? Well, that's not our problem. We'll worry about it in 30 years. Sorry, you gotta worry about it now, honey, because 30 years, a lot of the people that went green with solar power in the 1990s, those panels are now ending up in landfills.
So, are you saying that if we did blow things into space, they'd come back down again?
Look, yeah, if you don't shoot far enough, they will come back to Earth again, which could be good or bad. But if you shoot out in space, unfortunately, is then we won't have those materials to be reused again.
Yeah, I forgot about that part.
It's the chemicals within the solar panels that are dangerous. Okay. I don't know about dangerous, but I definitely know that there are going to be lots of sharp glass. And we don't know if they're using solder, we're using lead, tin, solder to make the connections. So you're going to be dealing with a lot of that. And of course, they're usually using epoxy resin to encapsulate the cells.
I've not heard of that word in years, epoxy resin.
Right. Exactly, Craig. We are in China's mercy. Or Tesla's mercy eventually when the Gigafactory is already starting to make power walls. But the point is that all of this material depends on somebody to make it. And it's going to cost money. And right now we already are at Chinese mercy, like you said, because we depend on so much imports from China. China could do the same thing Russia is doing. It could shut down all the exports to the United States and say, guess what? You can go fuck yourself. And that's all they would have to do. They wouldn't even have to fire a shot. They would just have to shut down all the companies, say, you're not exporting to the United States. Sorry. They can go fuck themselves.
That's why I was saying earlier, Michelle, when it comes, I know I'm being serious now, but when it comes to these Russian sanctions, I think we shot ourselves in the foot a little bit here over this.
Yeah.
In a big way, because we're suffering now because it's reflecting back on us as well. Yeah, so there has to come a stage where we can start fending for ourselves. But I think we've relied on these countries for so long.
You guys depend on Russian wheat and Ukraine food as well. You guys have no access to enough wheat to feed the people of most of Europe without Russian supplies of wheat and other grains. We here in the United States import a lot of Russian stuff too. Fertilizer, for example. America doesn't make enough ammonium nitrate fertilizer. We have to buy it from overseas. Guess you're one of the biggest suppliers.
There's 70 million people in this country, and we're still taking in dinghy divers. When I say dinghy dive, you know those people that come on dinghies from France and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Like Afghans and Syrians and stuff. And there's just no... It's inflating the country to a degree that they're almost getting the red carpet treatment. Now, I'm no racist by no means, so don't take that the wrong way. But I do believe we should start looking after our own selves first. I've always believed that. Even more now than ever, to be honest.
Well, I think it's still what's going on right now is that let's try to get the right chat on the screen here. Let's see. I think this is the newest chat. Let's see. Share.
1,000 solar panels on the Earth and 1 or 2 in the Sun. Yeah, oh, okay. Okay, yeah, well, I can imagine that'd be not a good thing.
He says here, just think about it. If you buried 1,000 solar panels in the Earth, and 1 or 2 of them are in the sun, that could start a raging fire. You mean like what happened over there in Centralia, Pennsylvania? Where when they started a garbage burn in a garbage dump that basically caught a vein of coal on fire on the ground because he was a major mine town.
I think that's
Now
what
the
it
whole
was.
town is basically abandoned because of the fire. Oh, yeah.
Carlos Martinez asks, "Did you like the old Planets of the Apes movies?"
Yeah, I did see them. I thought they were okay.
I loved the first one. I think the first one, especially at the end when he realized he was actually still there.
You dirty, stinking ape. Yeah.
Yeah.
Charleston Heston was in that one. Craig Sr. says the newer cars have such low emissions, it really doesn't make any difference. When you retire an electric car's battery, it's going to emit more than any gasoline engine does in its life. Well, that's true. I think that's what the mentality is. I still think it's a bad design. I still think, as I said, I think that the tree huggers didn't put that into consideration with the Green New Deal. Oh, well, this is going to really help.
Yeah, no.
But if you don't got a proper recycling program, as I said, in effect, then you're just pushing the problem down the road.
I don't think many of us have that amount of money, Craig. That's the thing. Yeah.
The average price of an electric vehicle that has 250-mile range, use a Kaya car for example, runs close to $44,000. I don't know about anybody else, but I don't have that money. You're right. That is a problem because, especially in the state of California, which is mandating
I never heard about anything about a stimulus check when I was there. Never heard any. Because Carlos was asking about what's the status of the stimulus check.
There isn't going to be a stimulus check.
I didn't hear anyone say it.
Joe Biden basically fucked us up when he said that he was going to give 2 stimulus checks. He didn't give any stimulus check to Americans. Oh, from Ukraine though, you get a stimulus check, but not Americans.
Oh yeah, they've got a lot of stimulus checks by the look of things. Yeah, I'll agree with that.
That the point is, as far as what Craig's saying about the electric cars, how is that going to affect people in the state of California? Because the California saying by 2035, all electric cars will be banned from sale. Even used cars are not going to be able to be sold in California. That's not going to help anybody. So an internal combustion gasoline engine car is just like selling high capacity magazines for rifles. You will not be able to legally buy them or sell them, or give them away for that matter, in the state of California. So how is that going to work? As you get the state of California can't generate enough electricity to charge all those cars. Again, this goes back to what I originally said. I mean, what is Pacific Gas and Electric going to do to make sure that people can charge their cars and go to work every day?
Yeah.
That's a problem. Somebody didn't think about that.
I think there's quite a lot of things people haven't thought about when it comes to stuff like that. It's all very well saying it's going to be the next big thing and it's going to be taken off, and stuff like that. But it's probably not. It's probably not.
Yeah, well, right now, if your average American is worried that he can't pay their heating bill in the wintertime, I don't think they're going to be investing worrying about buying a car right now.
Oh, well, we've had this discussion before, and I've had it lately with people. I'm saying if you do celebrate Christmas, right, guys, and you like to spend money on Christmas presents and things like
Oh,
that, I
yeah.
would say you should have started it in March.
Right. Exactly. And a lot of people
You know,
don't think
because
that
it's going to
far
be
ahead.
tough.
I didn't
Yeah.
even think that far ahead. I do kind of celebrate Christmas, but I didn't think about buying Christmas presents in March. I think most people didn't think about it. But either way, the stuff that's going on right now is I don't think we realized the problem that started with the big P 2 years ago is still going to be dragging on even now as far as the ramifications.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't think it's such a big issue here. I know from what I've seen there. I mean, people are still wearing masks and stuff. It's like I was what? And people even in their own cars by themselves still wearing masks.
Yeah.
And see here, nobody wears them, Michelle. And I mean 97.9, whatever you gonna call it, nobody wears masks here. There's no
Right.
laws about
Nobody
COVID
wear masks
anymore at
anymore in
all.
my area too. Most people have
It's,
stopped wearing them completely.
it's completely out the window. Because they know it simply didn't
So
work. It
all those
simply didn't
people that
help
are
the
coming up with all
situation.
these niche product masks that you could buy with custom logos and things, they're going to be out of money because they're not going to be selling those masks.
Well, now you've got this new disease in Argentina. I don't know if you read it in the news today. Apparently it's a new pneumonia or something like that. They've
The
never
form
heard
of
of before.
pneumonia.
And I
Well,
was
one
like, oh,
university,
here
by
we
the way, in
go
the United
again.
States has said if you don't have your flu vaccine, your standard flu vaccine for the year, you will be required to wear masks when attending school here.
Oh, see, I totally disagree
Or
with
if
that.
you
I
have
don't
a
think that's
cold,
right.
you will have to wear a mask if you have a cold. Which I can see the point of that. Because when you
No,
sneeze, your
I
boogers
don't,
go
Michelle. I
flying
don't,
in the
because
air
you
like an
need to.
aerosol.
If you have to get immunity to something, it's better to get it naturally
Right.
rather than have some foreign or I don't know.
I mean,
Just
when I was a child, when I was born, 1968. Okay, I have the diphtheria vaccine. I have the smallpox vaccine. I have my tetanus shot.
I understand those ones
I
definitely.
have my. We did not have. I did get my measles shots, yes, and we didn't have a chicken. We did not have a chicken pox shot back then. I do get my
Mhm.
my polio vaccine. Most people today don't even have the smallpox vaccine. They don't even know why they stopped giving that out in 1972.
I think it's because it's probably the only virus that's ever been totally eradicated to a degree. I know, like
Well,
Russia and the
remember
UK and the
something that
US
Sean
still have that.
Connery's wife said? Never said never again, because it may be eradicated from the public view, but somebody, some bad terrorist, is going to be able to get access to the stockpiles of smallpox, and they'll take advantage of
Right,
it.
right. But I think they're pretty securely safe. I know Russia and the UK and the US have got stockpiles of it.
Yeah, we have it.
You
We
know,
do.
yeah. But it's hopefully something that we'd never see again in this world because it's probably one of the worst things you could ever get.
Well, right now, there's concern about the bubonic plague and Ebola.
Ebola, that frightens me. That one does.
That's nasty. Ebola is nasty, but the bubonic plague is worse,
Okay.
aka the Black Death.
Yeah.
Why is it concerned most about the bubonic plague? Cities like Los Angeles, which is a huge rat population, and cities in New York.
Yeah, because obviously rats and rodents spread the disease really easily. And
It's the ticks on the rat that does it, or the fleas. But you're right about what the whole point of shuffleboard is. Yeah.
Did you? Yes, I did. I did have to. Yeah, Craig. Yes, I
Yeah.
did.
Shuffleboard, AKAs. What's the point of shuffleboard? It's like you said, they should go pushing the puck or puck pushing. It's not really. What is it supposed to be, like bowling kind of thing
Okay,
from what I've
Craig.
seen? I don't
Yeah, I
really.
don't know what it is either, to be honest. That's why I was asking what it was about. Yeah, Craig, we did. Everyone had to. It
Well, I
surprised me,
certainly
to
know
be
what
honest.
curling is. Curling involves pushing a 32-pound stone over ice with brooms. It's kind of funny how that came out to be. I guess the guy who created curling, I guess, was a custodian in a hotel or something.
I've never had to do that yet, so I'll let you know if it ever happens. But yeah, on planes, yeah, you still have to wear a mask. Yeah. Well, I don't know about all, but that one for sure, and on the way back.
Yeah.
You would see people obviously taking them off and stuff like that, but it was more of an advisory thing, and it was like it didn't bother you so much on a plane because you knew you weren't doing it and you weren't walking about. Like, say, for an example, when you were at work and you had to wear a mask. I mean, that was a nightmare. That was an absolute nightmare because you were drenched in sweat and you were talking to people and they couldn't hear you. You couldn't hear them.
Right.
So, but
And they
thankfully, as I
certainly
say,
couldn't tell. They certainly couldn't tell how you were feeling by looking at your facial expression because you couldn't show your face.
no, you couldn't. Yeah, you couldn't even show your face at all.
Yeah, polio was a
And
big concern back then.
yeah, my mum actually caught polio, I think in the 60s when she was a kid, and she was fine. She was actually one of the lucky ones that didn't really suffer from it too badly. But it was one of the most effective vaccines ever as well. I mean, don't get me wrong, guys. There are vaccines out there that are very, very effective.
Well, guess what's also making comeback now? Polio is now back in the news.
Yep, that's back as well. Apparently,
Unfortunately
yep.
enough. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I think it's quite a lot of cases in London.
polio is slowly going up the charts. And America's most dreaded. That Ebola, smallpox, measles really kind of was scary, but I don't think most people actually died from German measles. At least I haven't heard of anyone dying from German measles or chickenpox for that matter.
No, we got the a thing called an MMR. So it was measles, mumps, and rubella.
Right,
You're
that's the shot
protected
you get
from.
as a kid. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it worked. To be fair, it did work.
It does work, yeah. But I mean,
I did get mumps actually.
the totally anti-vaxxer groups are totally against any vaccines or putting themselves at risks. However, I'm not one of the total anti-vaxxers. I'm kind of a like, let's see how it goes vaxxer. You know, I'm like, if I'm glad I didn't take the vaccine for the big C because now we're seeing it isn't doing anything. It just didn't stop like it promised to stop it. It just basically it's why you see boosters after boosters after boosters after boosters.
And they're now talking about another one coming out this month, and I mean, I had to get it because obviously I wouldn't have got there, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I did take. I got the both shots. I thankfully, touch wood, I never had any adverse reactions to it. But I don't know. I just think it shouldn't be for everybody. You know, people should have a choice. You know, and unfortunately, we don't have a choice in these days.
People should have a choice, and a lot of us I chose not to get that. But
Hmm.
that doesn't mean, as I said, I'm not one of those people that's totally against vaccines because I am more of like a let's see how this is gonna go thing, first.
Yeah, well,
Um,
thankfully I was fine. I never had any bad reactions to it at all. So it was just like, okay, that's it, you know. But I know there are a lot of people that are having adverse reactions to certain brands, say Pfizer or Moderna. They're finding people with having heart problems and things. I mean, I'm not saying that's due to that. I'm not saying that, but I just think there's a bit of a coincidence, you know.
yeah, right now I'm still shooting out the video we're doing now because people didn't even know we were still alive. So they can come back and watch this. Unfortunately, that just took one of our 3 notifications. So guess what? That means that when I do the video upload, actually it's already uploaded of the gameplay, we won't have any notifications for tonight's stream, because they only give us 3 notifications in 24 hours. But honestly, we had a good night show last night, but this would have been a great topic that we're doing now that we should have done last night. But
Well, I
our
probably won't be
shows
on
are so
tonight myself, to be
organic; they've
honest.
changed so
Because
much
I'm
that people
tired.
didn't even think about it. So
John is saying that Tupelo, Mississippi pilot who threatened to ram plane into Walmart is down in custody.
Uh, yeah. Well, anyway, like I said, just really interesting to see how this is all going to work out in the end with well, the ecology, the Green New Deal, and the reality that the 3 R's of reduce, reuse,
Tired, man.
recycle are not going to be applied here because the system is, they're
Mm-hmm.
not recycling the panels properly, they're not recycling the batteries properly. We don't barely have enough structure to properly recycle e-waste. They like the electronics charge controllers and things like that. That's a serious concern. Although,
You could always do one special thing to get rid of it, and it comes from a Disney song, "Under the Sea, Under the Sea."
yeah, under the sea, yeah,
I'm just trying to make something.
and bury it with you and me, right? The whole idea is that remember that the crab was living in a tin can. Well, think about
Yeah,
where
no,
did that tin can come from?
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, Paul wants to come on. Go ahead, Paul. How you doing?
Hey, Paul.
Sorry about you. You didn't get the notification earlier. We ended up getting cut off, and then we ended up at a restart.
So, Paul, how would you feel about putting unrecyclable waste under the sea?
Oh, I do it all the time. Yeah, fuck it. I mean, there's plenty of water. It'll thin out eventually. Yeah, I'm all for it.
I don't know. It just came into my head, and I thought, oh well, there's got to be a way of getting rid of it somehow. It's either that or shooting it into space. So
just dumping it in the water seems a lot easier. Yeah,
how you doing anyway, Paul?
Dump it in the water. Not too bad so far, so good. How about yourself, Andrew?
Oh, exhausted.
Glad to be home.
Yeah, I am actually.
Good.
Tiger Kitty says hi to you, Paul.
This is a good thing.
Yeah, I'm glad you had a safe, successful trip. Hello, Tiger Kitty in chat.
Thank
Good
you.
day, good day. Yeah, it's getting some coffee going, and yeah, just gonna hang out for a little while today. How about you guys?
Well, another popular game for old
Sleep.
farts, Craig, is bingo. I don't really like bingo that much. It's kind of okay, but
probably too fast paced for you.
Not really. It's not that fast.
Oh.
But compared to shuffleboard, it probably is faster.
I can't remember.
I think it was alright, I guess.
I mean, if you win, it's fantastic. But
Shuffleboard sounds kind of boring. So more like
I'd
shuffleboard.
never heard of shuffleboard. That's why I had to ask Michelle. I was like, "What the hell's that?" You know?
Oh
it's like,
yeah. Yeah, shuffleboard.
Sounds like
it's a game with
shuffleboard should be
finesse.
called shuffleboard.
mhm.
B-O-R-E. Or
Shuffleboard is a game with
shuffleboard.
finesse.
B-O-R-E-D.
Yeah, Johnny's saying, "What about cribbage?" Now, I know it's a card game, but
Cribbage, yeah.
I wouldn't know how.
I never played that one myself. More of a backgammon, man. It's a gentleman's game, you know. You can have a glass of brandy and a cigar. And
I don't know.
Sounds
But
quite refined.
I never
Actually.
played backgammon. I don't even know what it's about.
Pontoon is probably the only card game I really ever played, to be honest. Like 21, you know.
Yeah, blackjack.
Yeah, exactly that. That's
Well,
about it. I don't know about poker or anything like that.
I don't know much. I don't know much about backgammon, pet cribbage, at all. I don't know anything about either game.
But they say once you go to a casino, there's games for everybody, even people that don't actually know how to like play these sort of games. There's games for somebody that would suit them, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Slot machine.
Yeah, precisely. Yeah,
Push a button and watch the little thing when the little reels go, you know?
exactly. That's the sort of thing I'd be hooked on, probably.
I mean, I played Baccarat with June Gravel, but I didn't quite understand Baccarat at all. I didn't understand what they were talking about when they say shoes and Baccarat. I was like, what is this shoes thing? Well, what is it? So
is this a game you guys played to kill mice or Baccarat? I never heard of that one.
I've heard of Baccarat, but I don't know what it is. So.
I've never heard of that one.
I don't. I played
I'm
it
not sure
with
what it
June
is.
Gravel, but I still don't understand it.
Who's June Gravel? Who is that?
Yes, my cardiologist recommended I only get the Pfizer shot, not the Moderna. The Moderna has products in it that are not good for people with heart problems like myself. Okay.
Oh no. Yeah, I'm not getting that jab, Michelle. No one's fucking with my mRNA. They're not turning me into a transhuman. Fuck that.
Well, unfortunately, mine's had to be fucked with. So.
As far as I know right now, Greg, the good
worse.
news is this is my opinion, YouTube. So please understand that as far as I understand right now, the COVID's pretty much just become a big giant nothing burger at this point. For most people.
Now we've got a monster eating viruses. Now that's the next thing that's coming. So. You heard it here first, guys.
Don't you think it's kind of weird they offer people like, gifts and incentives to get a vaccine? Isn't that a bit odd? Hey, we'll get the $50 to get the shot. Yeah, I don't know, something a bit fishy there. They ain't turning me into a transhuman.
I suppose that the people at Monsters Inc. have created a new virus that's guaranteed to be more scary and more powerful and more evil, such as Ebola, or maybe even Return of the Bubonic Plague, which are actually coming back. It's in bigger cities with a rat populations such as San Fran and Los Angeles. You're starting to see more potential cases of bubonic plague starting to show up.
I've done a little bit of research here. I didn't realize Ebola has been around for that long.
Craig Sr., yeah.
1970s.
Always have. Even the Rona's been a long. This is
exactly.
This thing is old. Yeah, this has been out for a long time.
I'm sorry for some of the people who ended up only getting part of the show this morning in part 1, and then you probably didn't realize it was a part 2. Actually, it was kind of a part 3 in the middle, which was I didn't have to restart.
Internet problems today, Michelle?
We were talking about electrical stuff.
Well, this morning we went from hero to absolute zero in less than 1 second. So the internet was gone in 60 seconds. Nobody knows why. It just totally went kaplam. Even Tunnel Bear was totally down.
Yeah.
So I think the problem was more on the local level. Maybe at my ISP or something. So we'll just rename the streams Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3, so you know. But unfortunately, because there's Part 3 parts, guess what? There's a good chance you will not receive a notification for tonight's show. Please be aware of that, guys. I am well aware that some of you guys are going to go,
I'll be honest, Michelle, I probably won't be on that one. Yeah.
I know. Just kind of late for you.
Bit tired
Anyway.
out.
You gotta go some
A
sleep.
bit tired out. Yeah. So what's the plans for tonight's show? Are you going to be doing calls and stuff like that, or have you got anything in
Probably the
mind?
same as yesterday.
Right.
Probably the same as yesterday.
Just wing it.
So I also gotta upload actually it's already uploaded. I just gotta go ahead and pepper it with lots of advertising. Talk about the truck driving game. And also I'm gonna create a modification to the profile so that we can turn off the noise reduction, because I think that's kind of making the game sound kind of weird when we're playing it, because like you lose out of the actual sound of the actual motor, because you only hear it when I'm gunning the engine. And I think that's kind of really kind of souring the realism. Also with World of Warcraft, same thing. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make another profile that basically just turns off the noise reduction, so that we can have a high resolution mode and just turn off the noise reduction on it. Thinking right now we're streaming at 720p right now, I think, because I don't think I switched back to 360.
Oh, you've reminded me of something. I was going to get that Turtles game for the PlayStation when I got home.
Yeah, we are streaming at 360. Okay, we're not streaming at 720. All right, so later on, what I'll do is
it's that Turtles game. Do
you have a PS4? Is what I'm saying. You have a PlayStation?
Yeah. So I'm gonna grab that. I knew there was something I wanted to do.
Oh.
So we'll see how that looks, and if it's any good, I'll let you know.
What's your PSN?
Oh, it's Andy Machine 1.
I'm sorry?
I'll type it.
Yeah, put it in the thing.
Yeah.
There we go. I know it's a ridiculous sounding name, but it was a long time ago, guys. So don't touch me on it.
Andy, what is that?
Yeah.
Machine?
One.
Okay. Andy Machine 1. All right, that's easy to remember.
Yeah, this is going back. 2009, guys.
Bro, don't even. Yeah, you don't have to explain it to me. I made mine. I don't. Yeah, back in PS3 days, way back when. Yeah.
So what I'm gonna do is for this stream tonight. Actually, I can do this right.
Yeah, I will next time I jump on.
No worries, bud.
Let me call this stream Part 3, because that's what this is. Because we have a Part 2 and we have a Part 3. So this I can rename this right now. This is Part 3. So let me rename this ahead of time, and I'll rename the other two, Part 1 and Part 2, because this Part 3. There we go. Named it, saved it. Boom. And now we'll just go back over at the end of the stream and rename Part 2, and Part 1, and then we all set. Now we all know it would have those like 3 parts. And because I think we covered a lot of some very valid points this morning, which was fantastic. And this is the kind of thing that I like to do. I like to talk about this kind of stuff. Because it really gives you something to think about. How everything is so interconnected, and yet people kind of forget how this whole works.
Mm-hmm.
So, in that case, like I said, it was just a wonderful show. We covered so many things and so many topics. So, anyway, you want to say anything before we wrap it up for today?
No, I'm cool. I'm just gonna chill out and doze off, I think, after I get a few things put away. And if I'm on tonight, I will see you for a little while at least, anyway. But if not, I'll see you whenever.
Yeah.
Monday, probably.
And for right now, guys, please don't forget that we will be live tonight. Even if you do not receive a notification for whatever reason, please do check to see if we are live. We will be live. Are we going to be live exactly at 7? Remember, yesterday we came on late, so I would say I can't guarantee exactly at 7, but I did say we would be live. If you check the Discord, or you check here and see if we're live.
Day. Take care.
Yeah, you too, buddy.
Later.
All right, guys. Have a nice day.
All right, Michelle, take it easy.
You too.
And everyone else, yep, and I'll see you later on. If not tonight, I'll see you at some point very soon.
Get some sleep.
Thanks, Michelle.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm needing it. I'm really needing it.
Okay, bye-bye. Okay, so that's that. There we go. So I renamed this stream Part 3, and I'm going to rename the other Part 2, and I'm going to rename the first part Part 1, so you know that there's 3 parts to it. Technically, the system automatically started Restream Part 2, but I didn't realize that, and I wasn't sure, so I canceled it when I could have left it just keep streaming. It would have been just confusing. But I also got the yesterday's gameplay up to already uploaded. I just got to go ahead and throw lots of advertising in there and get it out there so you can watch it. It shouldn't take too long. We got to take the garbage downstairs too. Yes. All right. So we'll talk to you guys later on. Yep. We'll see you guys soon. Let's get to the ending credits. Yep. Okay, bye-bye. Bye-bye, baby. This is like a 16-inch grinder. Hope you're hungry, because you're going to be eating a lot of it. No. I don't need them. Why would I want to have to put money
into... I know you don't need it. Well, because you might want a big whopper.
These are the real deal, baby. These are real.
But you wouldn't want... You've seen Rosie's. I mean, they're massive.
I know. I know. But then again, we also see, like, other people that got those things. And what happens is after you get to be a certain age, everything sags. And of course, we have the tools of trade, the fame, the calendar, the clapper. Let's call the spirits back real quick.
Gauntlet 1. Versus fight.
That's how we take care of those pests.
Ow! Oh, that's gonna hurt. All right. And thank you very much for watching. Stay out of trouble, guys. I will see you tomorrow morning, normal time. Yep. Okay.